This is a Laura Flanders Show minicast featuring Indigenous women leaders at the 17th session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues at the UN headquarters in New York. The session was titled Local and Global Strategies for Countering Migration and Displacement. We spoke with officials from the 2018 Madre and Rosa Luxemburg Stiftung delegation who participated at the forum, where speakers, representing 3 continents and 5 countries, explored local and global strategies for advancing the rights of Indigenous people, with a particular emphasis on the land rights of women and girls. With grit and determination, Madre women were steadfast in their commitment to defending the liberty and rights of Indigenous communities across the globe, no matter how remote or how small. Take a listen.
Candy Leah Marie Masset of the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara tribal nations of North Dakota, and the Indigenous Environmental Network.
Being here at the United Nations in New York City and meeting with Indigenous peoples from around the world, it's so powerful. They do it because they know that there is a line that we have to draw and say, this isn't just a game, this isn't just a meeting in a building. There's a reality to us wanting to protect our future. And so I think it's important to lift up the struggle of Indigenous women, not wanting to just be in the household or cooking or seen with these traditional roles. If people here know the struggles that exist in other areas and territories, there could be that compassion to somehow help, especially with the women and children in their struggle for land right and land title.
But I want to place these in quote, positive changes in terms of how the bank has responded to FPIC and this emerging international law within a broader critique of what's known as the development apparatus.
Lucy Malenka of Maasai, Kenya, and the Executive Director of the Indigenous Information Network.
We are right now here at the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. It's the 17th session and it's talking about lands and territories. Indigenous people are marginalized in almost all development. That's why we are effectively participating in the agendas 2030 and about the Sustainable Development Goals. And we are really pushing that no one is left behind, no matter how remote you are.
Eshatu Manu of Mbora Pastoralist Community, Cameroon, and Indigenous Women's Advocate and Coordinator.
I'm so happy to be at this 70th session of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. The theme of this year, which is Indigenous Collective Right to Land, Territories and Resources, is a very important issue for us as Indigenous people and pastoralists as well. I will plead that women land rights, and girls in particular, and Indigenous human rights defenders regarding land issues should be also taken into consideration.
Otilia Lux de Coti of Quique Maya, Guatemala, and advisor to Madre's Guatemala program. I'm participating in the Forum for Indigenous Peoples to talk about the situation of women, young people, and Indigenous communities. What we came to demand from the nation-states, the UN, and the financial institutions is the utmost respect for the human rights of Indigenous peoples, because we have individual and collective rights. We came to demand respect for the free, prior, and informed consent for any project taking place on Indigenous land. Yaso Kante Batachan of Tekali, Nepal, and Vice Chair of the National Indigenous Women Forum.
We are here to recommend the UN to have a special mechanism for free, prior, informed consent, which is enshrined in United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. A lot of land grabbing and militarization and violence against women is happening in my country.
Ledovina Gil Zamora of Mosquito, Nicaragua, and defender with Wanki Tang Ni. I've been talking about the rights of Indigenous peoples and water contamination. Gold miners wash gold and then contaminate the water. As women, we need water, and it takes us very long, sometimes 2 or 3 hours, to get water. So we are speaking about the rights of women as well. Kamala Thapa of Magar, Nepal, and program coordinator of the National Indigenous Women's Federation.
We're asking to UN agencies that please let us live in our own land. In the hilly side, there are lots of hydropower projects which where indigenous people living in the hillsides are displacing by the hydropower projects, which is unfair. We want to ask UN agency to support us to pressurize our government to stop this kind of violence, which is we are facing nowadays.
Lucy Mulankai, Executive Director of the Indigenous Information Network.
Indigenous women from these poor countries, as we call ourselves, they're always resilient. No matter what burden it is, we carry with a positive thinking that something will be okay. And the little things that we do really matter, because those are the things that we do and we build up and make a difference for our community.
So thank you. Our time is up and we have to move on to the next side event. Thank you, everybody. Want to get up.
You were just listening to the voices from the Rosa Luxemburg Stiftung and Madre official delegation of Indigenous women leaders at the 17th session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. You can watch this episode at our website, where you'll also find the full archive of the Laura Flanders Show and where you can subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Like what you're hearing? Be sure to write a review in Apple Podcasts. It helps spread the word. Become a sustaining member right now by putting your money where your media is and supporting this podcast. Go to patreon.com/TheLFShow. And thanks for listening.